is 5 on Your Side at 6. Focused on you.
A sexual abuse survivor came forward today for the first time to share his story. He was known only as John Doe after suing the Archdiocese of St. Louis and the priest who assaulted him. He eventually settled that case for $1 million. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush. Ann Allred has the night off. Now that man has come forward publicly wanting to tell the world about his horrific experience. Our Justina Coronel joins us live from the Cathedral Basilica in St. Louis. Justina.
Yeah, his name is Jonathan Dean, and he said he was 10 years old when this abuse started happening. Now he's speaking up for himself and others.
My name is Jonathan Dean, and I am the plaintiff who settled, previously anonymous plaintiff who settled with the Archdiocese for $1 million.
It takes courage, standing behind the mic, to come forward.
Today has been over 10 years in the making from the time that my memory of repression broke in summer of 2013. And I first remembered that 20 years earlier, in 1993, I had been raped by a priest 4 times.
The St. Louis native unveils his vulnerability.
When I was sexually assaulted as a child, my world stopped being about all the things that make childhood a special and carefree time.
In 2018, Dean filed a civil suit against former father Gary Paul Wolken in the Archdiocese of St. Louis. Dean said he was 10 years old when Wolken repeatedly raped him at Ascension Parish in Chesterfield. Just this summer, that suit was settled for $1 million. Dean claims the Archdiocese tried to dismiss the case and points to the flaws of the state's statute of limitations.
The Missouri legislature should remove all statutes of limitation for claims of childhood sexual assault. These cases need to reach trials, not be continually dismissed on legal technicalities.
In 2002, Wolken was convicted of abusing a different boy in 1997. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison and released in 2015. In 2007, he was formally defrocked by the Vatican.
I want my childhood back. I want my life back that I would have had I not been raped as a 10-year-old.
Dean came forward with his darkest memories to shine a light.
If you are given the opportunity to provide that person or person's support, please take it. If they come to you and they tell you what happened to them, how they were victimized, how they were traumatized, how they are struggling, please listen.
Now, the Archdiocese released a statement today saying, in part, the Archdiocese of St. Louis treats every accusation of sexual abuse with utmost seriousness. Regardless of any applicable statute of limitations, the Archdiocese collaborates with former FBI and other law enforcement personnel, independent of the church, to thoroughly investigate claims and respond appropriately. Despite the absence of criminal charges and other mitigating factors, it was the Archdiocese which proposed a settlement process with an experienced mediator through which a mutual agreement between Mr. Dean and the Archdiocese of St. Louis was reached. Now, to read that entire statement by the Archdiocese of St. Louis, you can head to our website, kck.com, and go to the section as seen on TV. Reporting in the Central West End, Justina Coronel, 5 on Your Side.
Developing tonight in the Metro East, the Major Case Squad wants your help to solve the murder of a man who was found in a ditch. 21-year-old Tyrese Owens was stabbed in the torso, and 5 on Your Side's Diamond Palmer is live in Collinsville, where neighbors say this really came as a shock. Diamond.
Mike, that's right. Neighbors tell me that Tyrese Owens was a pleasant person. He brought them groceries, even walked both of his dogs up and down the street frequently. But other neighbors also say a couple days ago, a man knocked on their door asking for Tyrese Owens at midnight, and it had them concerned.
Evil doesn't hide in darkness anymore. It has come out to the light.
Under the shadows of the Collinsville ketchup bottle, 21-year-old Tyrese Owens was found Wednesday morning in a ditch just outside of his apartment at 519 Loop Street with serious cuts to his torso. He was later pronounced deceased by the Madison County Coroner's Office. Neighbors were the ones to find Tyrese. Many say it's shocking for the Collinsville High School graduate. One neighbor in Tyrese's complex told me a couple nights ago a man knocked on their door asking for Tyrese. Just a couple doors down, Sandra Callahan said she was home at the time and had to console Tyrese's friends.
And as I walked down, I asked them, was this a friend of yours? And they said, yeah, and the tears were coming. And I asked if I could have a prayer with them, and so we prayed.
The Collinsville Police Department has requested the Major Case Squad of Greater St. Louis to lead the investigation. With 20 investigators assigned to the case, at this time, officials say they're following several leads.
Please just step forward, just go ahead and step forward. Things happen. We all know that, but we have a family down here who's devastated over the loss of a son, a grandson, a brother, and that's the hard part.
Callahan says she remembers him walking up and down the street with two of his dogs. She says the people in her street are close-knit and want more answers.
Let's grab our kids and hug them and love them and tell them there's a different way than this.
Now, the Major Case Squad says they are deep into this investigation of this crime, but at this point, they do not have any information. They hope to have some more information in the near future. Of course, if you or anyone you know has more information on this crime, you should call the Major Case Squad at 618-344-2131. Reporting live here at the Collinsville Police Department, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Police were called in to keep the peace this afternoon when Israel and Palestinian supporters demonstrated in West St. Louis County. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators have been taking part in a global day of action calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. They gathered this afternoon on Manchester near Weidman. Israel supporters gathered in that same area, and police were called in for crowd control. They did take one person into custody. We're told no one was physically hurt. Some families in St. Louis will soon be getting financial help just in time for the holidays. The city is launching a guaranteed basic income program, and this week they're helping those who have already qualified. Today, 5 on your side's Travis Cummings got an inside look at the process and learned what's next.
It's a blessing for me, really.
The Carondelet Library was the first stop on Talitha Legron's list Thursday.
My job specialist had reached out and told me, and some of the community leaders in Dutchtown.
The South City resident is one of 547 people who could receive $500 monthly payments over the next 18 months. The city of St. Louis is allocating $5 million of American Rescue Plan funds for its Guaranteed Basic Income program to help low-income families.
This will give me enough time to finish school, because right now I'm working on my GED, and I got 2 more tests to take, and I do need some income coming in.
Legron is a mother with a big future in mind.
I have 6, and I have resources that's helping me right now. I'm somewhere in life where I don't want to settle.
For the last 2 days, the city partnered with the Forward platform to help people navigate the application process.
When families come into these rooms, they're able to meet with representatives about the necessary requirements and paperwork. They can also receive some much-needed benefit assistance, a one-stop shop.
Some households need a little extra help submitting that documentation, so they can bring it here in person, and we can get that stuff included in the application for them.
It was smooth. This was on my to-do list this morning.
Eligible families sit at 170% below the federal poverty line. Legron's grateful for the chance to rise up.
A lot of people just trying to make it seem so bad. What that's gonna do for you? It ain't gonna do nothing for you. And I'm telling everybody, it's gonna do something for me.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
The program's application process closed on November 1st. There was then a lottery to decide which families moved along. Those are the people who were welcome to attend yesterday's and today's events. The chosen applicants should expect their first payments by the holiday.